So starting with today's lecture. In today's lecture we are going to discuss the one of the topic from psychology, that is the memory. Now what is memory? Anyone can tell me about what is memory? What is you think about this is the memory? Yes, anyone want to tell? Yes, anything else? Yes, it is the remembering, or we call it as a it is the store, retain and recall. That we call it as a memory. It is not a storage of only the information, it is not only the memorying, but it is the storing, retain and recall. That we call it as a memory. So in psychology, memory is an organism's mental ability. What is it? It is a mental ability to store, retain and recall information. That we call it as a memory. So in this we are going to discuss the different points regarding the memory. In this first one, what is mean by memory or the definition of memory. Secondly, we are going to discuss the second point, that is brain areas included in memory. What are the brain areas that are included in the memory? Then third important point we are going to discuss are the stages of memory. What are the different stages of memory? Then next point we are going to discuss, that is the types of memory. After the types of memory, we are going to discuss the methods of improving memory. What are the different methods of improving memory? And lastly, how the memory can be improved, or how we can increase our memory or the capacity of a brain to make the memory sharp. So these are the different points we are going to discuss. So in this, the first point is the definition of memory. In definition of memory, memory is the in psychology, memory is an organism's mental ability to store, to retain and to recall information. Means we have to store that information, what we seen or what we listen, then we have to retain. We can retain or recall that information, or again we can told that information or can talk about that information. That we call it as a memory. So in this, memory is the retention of and the ability to recall information, personal experiencing and the procedures. That we call it as a memory. So memory is the retention and the ability to recall information, personal experiencing and the procedures. That we call it as a memory. So in definition of memory, you have to remember that in psychology, memory is an organism's mental ability to store, to retain and to recall the information. That we call it as a memory. Then the second important point is, that is brain areas included in memory. What are the brain areas that are related to the memory? So in brain areas, there are mainly three areas that we concern, that is related to the memory. So in this, the first one, that is the hippocampus. This is the one of the area from the brain, and it is a primitive structure deep in the brain, plays the single largest role in processing information as memory. That is what information he collected, it processed into the as a memory. That is the hippocampus. This is the first area. A primitive structure deep in the brain plays the single largest role in processing information as memory. Then second area, that is a amygdala. Amygdala, an almond shaped area near the hippocampus, processes emotion and helps imprint memory that involves the emotion. Means the memory related to the emotions that are mainly stored in that area or that area is related to that particular type of memory, that is related to the emotions, and that is the area is amygdala, that is the almond shaped area present near the hippocampus. So this is the second most important area in the brain. Then the third area, that is the cerebral cortex. So cerebral cortex, the outer layer of the brain, stores most long term memory in different zones depending on what kind of processing the information involves, that is language, sensory input, problem solving, and so forth. That is, in addition, memory involves communication among the brain's network of neurons, millions of cells activated by the brain chemicals called as the neurotransmitters. So the third most important area is the cerebral cortex, and cerebral cortex, it is the outer layer of the brain that stores the most of the long term memory. And in this, the what kind of processing the information involves, that is the language. We don't forget our language, that is the language, then sensory input, then problem solving, and this type of different things that is remembered in that cerebral cortex. And along with this, in cerebral cortex there is the communication among the brain networks, the communication between the brain networks of neurons, and that is transmitted by the chemicals, that is the neurotransmitters. So these are the main three areas you have to remember that are related to the memory. First one, the hippocampus, second one is the amygdala, third one the cerebral cortex, that is related to the neurotransmitters. So this is the second point, that is the brain areas included in the memory. Now the third point that is related to the memory is that the stages of memory. What are the different stages of memory? So in stages of memory, there are mainly three stages. First one, the encoding, second one, storage, and the third one, retrieval. So what is the encoding? What is the storage, and what is the retrieval? These are the three stages when information uh, gets to us. So in this, first we encode that memory, then at second stage we store that memory, and third stage we retrieval that memory. So these are the three stages of memory: first encoding, second storage, and third one retrieval. So in this, what is mean by encoding, or what is the encoding? So in this, when the information come into our memory system, it needs to be changed into a form that the system can cope up with, so that it can be stored. So when information comes to us, that is any information comes to us, when we have to encode that memory, means we have to make the encoding of that memory that can be cope up with the brain, that can be stored in the brain. So this is the first procedure, that is the encoding. For example, a word which seen may be stored if it is changed, encoded into a sound or a meaning. So when we see some word, that is we see some word and we have to remember that word. So remember, for remembering that word, we have to encode that word, or we have to sound that word, or we have to think about the meaning of that word. When we sound that word one to two times, then we can remember that word in a brain, or that can be stored in a brain. Or when we think of meaning of that word, that is only we see some word on a television, and when we think about the meaning, that is this is the meaning of that word, then when we recall the meaning, then we stored it in our brain. So that we call it as a encoding, that is we have to encode that information that can be stored in the brain. So first step, or the first stage of memory is, that is the encoding, that is when information into our memory system, it needs to change into form that the system can cope up with, so that it can be stored, that we call it as a encoding. So there are mainly three ways in which information can be encoded, that is there are mainly three ways in which information can be encoded. So in this, the first one is the visual, second one is the acoustic, and the third one is the semantic. So first one, visual, means we see with our eyes, that is the picture. Then acoustics means that is the sound, we produce the sound or we hear the sound, and with the help of that sound we remember that thing. And the third one is the semantic, means that is the meaning, we think of a meaning of that word or any information. When we understand anything, then we remember for long time. If we only listen, it is a short term memory, it again forget. That is, if you are listening to me now, so when you understand what I am talking to you, then only you can memorize this thing. But when you cannot understand what I am talking, you only listen, and after some time it get forget. So by understanding or by knowing the meaning of that thing, you can make the, that is semantic, or the, this is the third way of the memorizing or the encoding of a memory. So this is related to the encoding, that is encoding having the three main ways, that is first one visual, second one acoustic, and the third one semantic. So in this, evidence suggests that this is the principal coding system in short term memory is acoustic coding. That is, the principal coding system in short term memory is acoustic coding. That is when you encode by only sound or by the acoustic coding. This is related to the short term memory, what I am explain now. That is, when I am talking, you only listening, this is the acoustic coding. That is, your brain is making the acoustic coding, and that can be stored for a short time. That is, now you think that I can remember all that the ma'am is talking, but after some time when you have recall that thing, you cannot recall, as this is for a short term memory. But when the second thing they explain as the evidence suggests that the principal encoding system in long term memory appears to be a semantic coding. That is, if you understand that thing or if you know the meaning of that thing, then that encoding maybe remain for a remain as a long term memory. Now if you are understanding what I am talking, what I am telling to you, then you can remember it for a long time. And if only you are listening, then it is remembered for a short time. So the acoustic coding is related to the short term memory, and the semantic coding is related to the long term memory. So this is the relation of encoding and the memory. So all of you understand what is the encoding and the memory. This is the first stage of memory. Yes. Okay, you are doing acoustic coding or semantic coding? What are you doing? Yes. While listening, what are you doing? Acoustic coding or semantic coding? Are you able to listen? Huh? Yes. Yes, Nagina. All are listening, na? So what are you doing now? Acoustic coding or a semantic coding? If you understand the meaning what I am talking to you, or if you understand what I am teaching to you, then you can call it as a semantic coding, as you know that the meaning what I am talking to you. And if only you are doing the acoustic coding, it is for a short duration, you cannot recall it. So all of you understand, or can I repeat it? ओके, आता लक्ष देऊन ऐका मी काय सांगते ते. तर याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी आतापर्यंत काय बघितलं आपण, डेफिनेशन ऑफ सायकोलॉजी, सॉरी मेमरी. मग त्याच्यानंतर बघितलं आपण की ब्रेन मध्ये कुठले कुठले एरियाज आहेत की जे मेमरीशी रिलेटेड आहेत. मग डेफिनेशन मध्ये काय सांगितलं त्यांनी सायकोलॉजीच्या, की सायकोलॉजी, सॉरी, definition of memory. In this they suggest that is, in psychology, memory is the organism's mental ability to store, to retain and to recall, that we call it as a memory. हे झाली डेफिनेशन. मग त्याच्यानंतर दुसरा पॉइंट त्यांनी एक्सप्लेन केलाय की डिफरंट एरियाज दॅट इज इन्क्लुडेड इन अ मेमरी. मेमरीशी रिलेटेड ब्रेन मधले कुठले एरिया आहेत. मग त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी मेनली 3 एरियाज सांगितले, दॅट इज हिपोकॅम्पस, then amygdala. It is a small almond shaped area near the hippocampus, and the third one is the cerebral cortex. हे 3 एरिया ब्रेन मध्ये असे आहेत की जे मेमरीशी त्यांचं रिलेशन आहे किंवा ते मेमरीचं फंक्शन करतात. मग त्याच्यानंतर थर्ड पॉइंट आपण स्टार्ट केलाय की स्टेजेस ऑफ मेमरी. मग स्टेजेस ऑफ मेमरी मध्ये त्यांनी 3 स्टेज सांगितल्यात. एक तर एनकोडिंग करायचं, दुसरं स्टोअर करायची मेमरी, आणि तिसरं रिट्रायवल करायची. याच्यामध्ये जी फर्स्ट स्टेज आपण बघतोय, एनकोडिंग म्हणजे काय, की एखादी इन्फॉर्मेशन किंवा एखादी वस्तू आपल्याला दिसली किंवा आपण बघितली, एखादा शब्द जर बघितला तर तो आपण मेमरीमध्ये कसा ठेवतो, तर तो कसा ठेवतो त्याच्यासाठी फर्स्ट स्टेज काय, एनकोडिंग. तर कधी कळेल आपल्याला शब्द, तो आपण एखाद्या शब्दाकडे जर बघितलं तर तो शब्द आपण जर वाचला तर तो आपल्या लक्षात राहील, किंवा त्याचा साऊंड जर ऐकला तर तो आपल्या ब्रेन मध्ये जाईल. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट काय, एक तर आपल्याला त्याचा अर्थ कळाला, त्याचं मीनिंग जर कळाला तर तो आपल्या ब्रेन मध्ये स्टोअर होईल. त्याच्यामध्ये इनकोडिंग म्हणजे काय, व्हेन इन्फॉर्मेशन कम इनटू आवर मेमरी सिस्टीम, it needs to be changed into a form that the system can cope up with so that it can be stored. मग आपल्याला ब्रेन मध्ये त्याचं एनकोडिंग करायचंय. ब्रेन जेव्हा त्याचं एनकोडिंग करल तेव्हा तो ब्रेन मध्ये काय होईल, स्टोअर होईल. मग त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी काय सांगितलं, एक्झाम्पल दॅट इज अ वर्ड. जर एखादा शब्द जर बघितला तुम्ही तर तो कधी स्टोअर होईल, एक तर तुम्ही त्याला वारंवार ऐकलं किंवा त्याचा साऊंड जर ऐकला किंवा तुम्ही स्वतः उच्चार जर केला त्या साऊंडचा तर होईल, आणि सेकंड त्याचं मीनिंग जर तुम्हाला कळालं तर त्याचं एनकोडिंग होईल. तर एनकोडिंग करण्यासाठी मेनली 3 वेज सांगितलेत त्यांनी. कुठला पण इन्फॉर्मेशन ब्रेन मध्ये जाण्यासाठी 3 वेज आहेत. एक तर पहिलं काय, व्हिज्युअल वे, म्हणजे आपण एखादे चित्र बघितलं, एखादं बिल्डिंग बघितलं, एखादा एरिया बघितला, तो आपल्या ब्रेन मध्ये ऍज अ व्हिज्युअल वे म्हणून स्टोअर होतो. हा झाला पहिला वे ऑफ एन्कोडिंग. दुसरा अकॉस्टिक वे म्हणजे साऊंड. जर आपण एखादं गाणं ऐकलं, एखादे वर्ड ऐकले, वारंवार जर ऐकलं तर ते काय होतं, आपल्या मेमरीमध्ये राहतं. आणि तिसरा वे काय, दॅट इज द सिमॅन्टिक वे, SEMANTC, सिमॅन्टिक वे. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला त्या गोष्टीचं मीनिंग जर कळालं तर ती इन्फॉर्मेशन तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये काय होते, स्टोअर होते. ते ह्याच्यानुसार त्यांनी 2 एव्हिडन्स सांगितलेत, की एव्हिडन्स बेस्ड स्टडी जे केलाय त्यांनी, त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी असं सजेस्ट केलंय की जी 2 टाइप्स आहेत मेमरीच्या, शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी अँड लॉंग टर्म मेमरी. तर शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी तुमची कशाशी रिलेटेड आहे, दॅट इज ऑफ अकॉस्टिक कोडिंग. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही एखादी गोष्ट ऐकली किंवा उच्चारली तर ती थोड्या वेळापुरती लक्षात राहते. इट इज रिलेटेड टू द शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी. आणि जर तुम्ही, and the second evidence that told about that is the principal encoding system in long term memory appears to be semantic coding. आणि जर तुम्ही सिमॅन्टिक कोडिंगनी जर ती गोष्ट लक्षात ठेवली तर ती लॉंग टर्म साठी तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये राहते. दिस इज रिलेटेड टू द लॉंग टर्म मेमरी. मग शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी अँड लॉंग टर्म मेमरी. शॉर्ट टर्म रिलेटेड टू द अकॉस्टिक कोडिंग अँड लॉंग टर्म रिलेटेड टू द सिमॅन्टिक कोडिंग. जर तुम्हाला त्याचं मीनिंग कळाला, त्याचा अर्थ कळाला, तर ती खूप वेळापर्यंत तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये राहते. दॅट इज रिलेटेड टू द लॉंग टर्म मेमरी. आणि जर तुम्ही फक्त ऐकलंय, त्याचं मीनिंग तुम्हाला कळालेलं नाहीये, तर ती फक्त शॉर्ट टर्म पर्यंत तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये राहते किंवा दॅट वी कॉल इट ॲज अ शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी. मग हे काय इनकोडिंगचे 3 वेज, दॅट इज व्हिज्युअल, अकॉस्टिक अँड सिमॅन्टिक. मग आता मी तुम्हाला काय विचारलं होतं की आता जर मी बोललेलं तुम्हाला कळतंय तर दॅट इज रिलेटेड टू व्हॉट. म्हणजे आता जे तुम्ही ऐकताय ते कशाशी, सिमॅन्टिकशी रिलेटेड आहे की अकॉस्टिकशी? जर तुम्ही फक्त ऐकत असाल तर इट इज ओनली अकॉस्टिक. आणि जर तुम्ही समजून घेत असाल मी जे बोलतीये ते, तर ते सिमॅन्टिक वे. सो दीज आर द 3 वेज ऑफ इनकोडिंग. तर इनकोडिंग कळाले सगळ्यांना. दुसरी स्टेज आहे स्टोरेज. आतापर्यंत आपण काय केलं, फक्त इनकोड केलं की ब्रेनशी त्याचं काय केलं, एन्कोडिंग केलं की ब्रेन मध्ये त्याला आता दुसऱ्या स्टेजला काय करायचं, आपल्याला त्याला स्टोअर करायचंय. तर सेकंड स्टेज दॅट इज ऑफ स्टोरेज. मग स्टोरेज मध्ये काय, दिस कन्सर्न्स द नेचर ऑफ मेमरी स्टोरेज, दॅट इज वेअर द इन्फॉर्मेशन इज स्टोर्ड, हाऊ लॉंग द मेमरी लास्ट, फॉर ड्युरेशन, हाऊ मच कॅन बी स्टोर्ड ॲट एनी टाइम, कॅपॅसिटी अँड व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन इट हेल्ड. मग जे काही स्टोअर करायचंय, मग स्टोअर करायची मेमरी, तर त्याचं ड्युरेशन किती असणार आहे किंवा त्याची कॅपॅसिटी किती असणार आहे. जर एखादी गोष्ट तुमच्या ब्रेन मध्ये स्टोअर करायची आहे तर त्याच्यामध्ये त्याची ड्युरेशन किती आहे, इट इज फॉर शॉर्ट टाइम ड्युरेशन आहे की इट इज फॉर अ लॉंग टाइम ड्युरेशन आहे, किंवा हाऊ मच कॅन बी स्टोर्ड ॲट एनी टाइम, किंवा जी काही इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टोअर करताय त्याची कॅपॅसिटी किती आहे, म्हणजे कमी प्रमाणात स्टोअर करताय की जास्त प्रमाणात स्टोअर करताय, अँड व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन इज हेल्ड, आणि नेमकं तुम्ही काय स्टोअर करताय, दॅट रिलेटेड टू द स्टोरेज. दिस कन्सर्न्स द नेचर ऑफ मेमरी स्टोरेज, that is where the information is stored, how long the memory lasts for, that is the duration, and how much can be stored at any time, that is capacity, and what kind of information is held. Then the way we stored information affects we affects the way we retrieve it. म्हणजे काय स्टोअर इन्फॉर्मेशन आहे ती कशाला अफेक्ट करते, की जे काय तुम्ही रिट्राय करता त्यावेळी ती काय करणार आहे, अफेक्ट करणार आहे. कारण काय काय स्टोअर केलंय हे कधी कळेल तुम्हाला, जर तुम्ही त्याला रिट्राय केलं, म्हणजे परत आठवण्याचा जर प्रयत्न केला तर तुम्हाला लक्षात येईल की तुम्ही काय स्टोअर केले, किती स्टोअर केले हे. नंतर इन्फॉर्मेशन कॅन ओनली बी स्टोअर फॉर ब्रीफ ड्युरेशन इन शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी, बट इन लॉंग टर्म मेमरी कॅन लास्ट अ लाईफ टाइम. म्हणजे जो काही ड्युरेशन आहे, किती वेळापर्यंत तुम्ही इन्फॉर्मेशन स्टोअर करू शकता, त्याच्यामध्ये त्यांनी सांगितलं की शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी जी आहे ती फक्त 0 to 30 सेकंड एवढ्यापर्यंतच शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी आहे, आणि लॉंग टर्म मेमरी जी आहे ती लाईफ टाइम पर्यंत पण तुम्ही स्टोअर करू शकता. म्हणजे लाईफ टाइम मेमरीचं ड्युरेशन किती आहे, इट इज 1 सेकंड टू लाईफ टाइम. म्हणजे काही काही लॉंग टर्म मेमरी काय की 1 सेकंदापर्यंत लक्षात राहतं, किंवा काही अशी मेमरी आहेत लॉंग टर्म मधल्या की ते आयुष्यभर लक्षात राहतात. सो दिस इज द शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी अँड द लॉंग टर्म मेमरी स्टोरेज. देन the third point is retrieval. In this refers to getting information out storage. If we can't remember something, it may be because we are unable to retrieve it. मग what is the retrieval? It refers to the getting information out storage. म्हणजे जे काय स्टोरेज मध्ये तुम्ही स्टोअर केलंय ब्रेन मध्ये मेमरी, तर ती मेमरी परत रिकॉल करणं त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण, रिट्रायवल. अँड इफ यू can't remember something, it may be because we are unable to retrieve it. मग जर तुम्हाला आठवत नाहीये काय झालं होतं, तर ते कशामुळे आठवत नाही, कारण तुम्ही त्याला रिकॉल करू शकत नाहीयेत त्या मेमरीला, की मी काय केलं होतं, काय झालं होतं ते तुम्ही रिकॉल करू शकत नाही ब्रेन मध्ये, त्याच्यामुळे तुम्हाला ते आठवत नाही किंवा लक्षात राहत नाही. देन when we are asked to retrieve something from memory, the differences between short term memory and long term memory become very clear. मग जेव्हा तुम्ही आठवण्याचा प्रयत्न करता किंवा रिट्राईव्ह करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतात की काय केलं होतं की किंवा काय मेमरी आहे या रिलेटेड, तर त्याच्यामध्ये मग तो डिफरन्शिएट करतो की ही लॉंग टर्म मेमरी आहे की शॉर्ट टर्म मेमरी आहे. जर शॉर्ट टर्म असेल तर तुम्हाला ते रिकॉल होणार नाही, पण जर लॉंग टर्म मेमरी असेल तर तुम्ही परत त्याला रिकॉल करू शकता. देन ऑर्गनायझिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन कॅन हेल्प एड रिट्रायवल. म्हणजे काही ऑर्गनायझिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन आहेत, म्हणजे त्याच्या रिलेटेड जर काही इन्फॉर्मेशन तुम्हाला दिसली किंवा तुम्ही पाहिली किंवा तुमच्या समोर जर आली, तर त्यावेळी तुम्ही रिट्राईव्ह करू शकता किंवा हे त्याला काय करतं, रिट्रायवलला हेल्प करू शकतं. की आता समजा काहीतरी मेमरी आहे तुमची, एखाद्या ठिकाणाबद्दल जर मेमरी आहे आणि ती मेमरी आता तुमच्या लक्षात नाहीये, पण तुम्ही परत त्या ठिकाणी गेले किंवा त्या ठिकाणचा काहीतरी विषय निघाला, तर हे काय झालं, त्याचं ऑर्गनायझिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन झालं की त्याच्या रिलेटेड काहीतरी तुमच्या समोर आलं आणि ती गोष्ट आल्यामुळं तुम्हाला तुमच्या मेमरीमध्ये जे आहे ते आठवलं. दॅट वी कॉल इट ॲज अ ऑर्गनायझिंग इन्फॉर्मेशन कॅन हेल्प एड रिट्रायवल. So this is the retrieval. So these are the three stages of memory: encoding, storage and retrieval. So all of you clear the three stages of memory: encoding, storage and retrieval. Then the next point is the types of memory. So in types of memory, memory is mainly divided into two types, that is short term memory and the long term memory. But along with this, they also explain one type of memory, that is the sensory memory. So in this, you have to remember that when stimuli or input it goes into the brain, it is for a short time memory, that is for 15 to 30 seconds. Then long term memory, it is for 1 second to lifetime, and sensory memory also for 1 to 3 seconds. So then there are three types of memory, that is short term, long term and the sensory memory. So in this, first we will see about short term memory. What is mean by short term memory? So in this, closely related to working memory. What is the short term memory? It is closely related to working memory, that we call it as a short term memory. Is the very short time that you keep something in mind before either dismissing it or transferring it to long term memory. What is the short term memory? It is related to the working memory. What we work or what we working, it is related to that working memory. Then is the very short time, it is only for a short duration, and that you keep something in mind before either dismissing it or transferring it to the long memory. That short memory can be converted into the long memory, or after short time it gets dismissed. Then short term memory is shorter than you might think, lasting less than a minute. That is, short term memory is shorter than you may think, that you might be think that it can be for 2 days or 3 days, but this is not the way. Short term memory is only for a few seconds, that is lasting less than a minutes. Then it's what allows you to remember the first half of a sentence you hear and read long enough to make a sense of the end of the sentence, but in order to store that sentence or thought, fact, idea, word, impression, whatever, for longer than a minute or so, it has to be transferred into a long term memory. What is short term memory? Short term memory is only the listening of that word and making the encoding, storage, and retrieval. But when this stages of memory comes, that is, you have to convert the short term memory into the long term memory. Means while you listening anything, or if you get any information from outside, it is as a short term memory, then it is for few seconds, but when you have to remember that thing, you have to convert that short term memory into the long term memory. So duration of short term memory is about 15 to 30 second only. and it is a working memory, and for the storage you have to convert the short term memory into the long term memory. Then the second type is the long term memory. So it is anything you remember that happened more than a few minutes ago. Long term memory aren't all of equal strength. Stronger memories enable you to recall an event, procedures, or fact on demand. For example, the Paris is the capital of France. Weaker memories often come to mind only through promoting or reminding. So in this, the long term memory is the memory that you have remember for a long time, and in this that happened more than a few minutes. That memory may be happened for more than few minutes or more than a few minutes ago, that we call it as a long term memory. And long term memory are not of a equal strength, that is, you cannot remember each and everything for a long time. That long term memory don't having a equal strength, that may be a stronger memory or that may be a weaker memories. That is, long term memory may be a stronger memories or it is maybe the weaker memories. So stronger memories enable you to recall an event, procedure, or fact or demand. That is, what events happen that strongly remember in your mind, then what are the procedures or fact that can be remembered for a long time or as a stronger memories in your brain. Then the second, that is the weaker memories, often come to mind only through promoting or reminding. But what is the weaker memory? That weaker memories you have to promote, you have to think of that, or you have to give some clues for that, or you have to find something for that. Then you can memorize these weaker long term memories. So for weaker memories after come to mind only through after promoting or reminding, that is the long term memory. So you have to remember in long term memory, as it is of a long duration, then it may be having the different strength, that is, it may be a stronger memory or it may be a weaker memories. Then long term memories duration may be 1 second to lifetime. What is the duration of that memory? That is 1 second to lifetime. This is the duration of long term memory. Then the third type they explain about, that is the sensory memory. So what is the sensory memory? It is the ability to retain impressions of sensory information after the original stimuli has ceased. So it is the ability to retain impressions of sensory information. What is the sensory information that brain stored, or it is mainly related to the sensory function of the body. So in this, it is the ability to retain impressions of sensory information after the original stimuli has ceased. What is the actual stimuli of sensory information? When that ceased, that converts into the sensory memory. So ceased, it refers to atoms detected by the sensory receptors which are retained temporarily in the sensory registers and which have a large capacity for unprocessed information but are only able to hold accurate image of sensory information momentarily. The two types of sensory memory that have been most explored are iconic memory and echoic memory. So these are the two types of a sensory memory. So what is the sensory memory? It is the ability to retain the impressions of sensory information. What the sensory information comes to us, that is, uh, the sensory information that first we puts hand on a hot thing. So in that way our brain knows that it is a hot thing and we have not to touch it. So this is the sensory memory that remain in a brain for a long time, that is, and when that sensory stimuli get ceased, that stored as a sensory memory in the brain for a lifetime. So that after the original stimuli has ceased, it refers to atoms detected by the sensory receptors which are retained temporarily in the sensory register and which have a large capacity to unprocess information but are only able to hold accurate image of sensory information momentarily. So there are two types of sensory information memory, that is iconic memory and the echoic memory. We are not going detail in that. So this is, you have to remember only, that is the, it is related to the ability to retain the impressions of sensory information, and the duration that told about the sensory memory is 1 to 3 second, and that may convert into the lifelong memory or a lifetime memory as a long term memory. So these are the types of memory: short term memory, long term memory, and the sensory memory. After this, the methods of improving memory. How? The methods of, there are different methods that can improve the memory. So in this they explain about, that is the recall, recognition, and relearning or re-remembering. That we call it as a methods of improving memory: recall, recognition, and relearning. Is today, who sent me attendance? Pratiksha? Okay. So in this we are discussing about the methods of improving memory. So in this there are different methods, that is recall, recognition and the relearning. So in this the first is recall. That is, what is the recall? This involves digging into the memory and bringing back information on a stimulus response basis. What is the capital of New Zealand? Answer: Wellington. Recall often needs prompting with clues to help us retrieve what we are looking for. It is not a reliable form of memory, and many of us experiences the feeling that we know the answer but simply can't dig the information out. This is the technique we use to remember the people's names, hence we often forget them. There are three types of recall, that is free recall when no clues are given to assistant retrieval, then serial recall when atoms are recalled in a particular order, and cued recall, that is when some cues are given to assist the retrieval. That is, this involves digging into the memory and bringing back information on a stimulus. That is, recall means when we recall that memory, we give some cues. In some time we give some cues or sometime we don't give. So there are three types of recall, that is free recall, serial recall and the cued recall. Free recall means there is no clues given to the retrieval. Then serial recall means when atoms are recalled in a particular order, that is we when we put anything in a order, that is when we memorizing some uh, alphabets, or that when we recall in an order that come in our mind, that is suddenly if asked that may goes wrong, but when we recall in an order that come as a serial recall. And third one, that is the cued recall, that is some clues are given for that thing. So this is the recall. Then the second is the recognition. These are the different methods of improving memory, how memory can be improved. So in this, first is the recall, second is the recognition. That is, recognitions means re plus cognition is a process that occurs in thinking when some event, processes, patterns or object recurs. That is, some events are recurs again, then processes or patterns coming from the base, that is recognition. Then recognition has various uses in different fields of study and has generally accepted to be used for the process of awareness or thoughts. So these are mainly related to the processes, patterns or events. That is, we recognize that thing and after that we make the recognition of these things. That is, this is one of the method of improving the memory. And the third method of improving the memory is relearning. Another means of remembering is remembering through relearning. Relearned information may return quickly even if it hasn't been used for many years. So in that case we have to relearn. That is, if you cannot remember anything, you have to restudy that thing, and after relearning that thing you can remember for a long time. So this is the relearning method, that is you have to learn it again or you have to study it again, you have to mug up it again. So that we call it as a relearning. So these are the three methods of improving the memory: recall, recognition and the relearning. Then after this there are tips for improving the memory, how you improve your memory. So in this the tips are given as a brain exercise, aerobics, then pay attention. So these are the different tips that improve your memory. So what is the brain exercises? That is memory, like muscular strength is a use it or lose it proposition. The more you work out your brain, the better you will be able to process or remember information. So what is the brain exercise? Brain exercise means you have to do that thing for a number of times. That is, when you read one page for one time, it cannot remember. But when you read that same page with number of times, this is the brain exercise. And when you do that brain exercise, that remain for a long time. So this is the method or a tip for improving your memory. So in for exam point of view, when you are uh, studying for number of times, this is the exercise of your brain to remember that thing for a number of days. That is the first tip for the memory improvement, brain exercise. Then second tip is the aerobics. So what is the aerobics? It is the best way to improve our memories, seem to be increase the supply of oxygen to the brain, which can be do by aerobic exercising. Walking for the 3 hours each week suffice, as does swimming or bicycle riding. So aerobics means you have to increase your oxygen capacity in a brain. When you provide oxygen to your brain tissues, more oxygen to your brain tissues, it will work very well and it will improve your memory capacity. So this is the second type tips, that is the aerobics. Then third tip is the pay attention. That is what you are doing or what you want to remembering. You have to pay attention for that thing. That is while you are studying. Now you are studying. When you are studying, you have to pay total attention to the study, not to the mobile, not to the TV, not to the talking or anything else. You have to pay your total attention to the study. Then and then only you can memorize that thing. So you can't remember something if you never learn it, or you can't learn something, that is encode it into your brain, if you don't pay enough attention to it. That is, if you do not pay attention while studying, then it is not properly encoding in brain and cannot be stored in a brain. So you have to pay attention while you are studying or you want to memorize something. Then involve as many senses as possible, then relate information to what you already know, and organize information. That when you want to memorize that thing, you have to use the help of organize information. When when I am studying this, at that time I am doing this, then at that time I study this. That is, you have to correlate that thing with the uh, other things, that will help for the memorizing you what you want. Then understand and be able to interpret complex material. Then uh, be motivated and keep a positive attitude. That is what you are want to memorize, you must have a positive attitude, that I must memorize this, or I can understand this thing properly and I can memorize this thing on a proper way or in a correct time. So be motivated and be keep a positive attitude. That is, while studying, keep a positive attitude, that I understand these things and I can memorize these things, and at the time of exam I can properly recall this thing on a paper. So be motivated and be keep a positive attitude for this thing. Then there are some healthy habits to improve the memory. That is, you know all that. That is the regular exercise, then managing stress, then good sleep habits, then not smoking. So these are the good healthy habits to improve the memory. That is, you have to do the regular exercise, you have to manage your stress while studying, that you can memorize properly the study. Then good sleep habit, that is for night watching up to 3 p.m. or 2 p.m. and then sleeping for 11 a.m. or 12 a.m. This is not a case. You have to sleep at a time and wake up at a time. So this is the good sleep habits must be there, that sleep is necessary for a memory consolidation. And sleep disorders like insomnia and sleep apnea leave you tired and unable to concentrate during the day. So sleep habits must be the good, and the bad habits, that is smoking, tobacco, that can be avoided to memorize the thing or to improve the brain capacity to memory to improve your memory. So this is the different things that is related to the memory. So in this way we finished the topic, that is memory. So in this way we studied what is mean by memory. Secondly, the brain parts that is related to the memory. Third, that is the stages of memory: encoding, storage and retrieval. Then types of memory: short term memory, long term memory and sensory memory. Then next point is the methods of improving memory in this: recall, recognition and learning or relearning. Then there are some tips to improve the memory, that is brain exercise, aerobics and pay attention. Then there are some healthy tips to improve the memory, that is regular exercise, good habits of sleep, then avoid smoking and tobacco. So these are the different points that is related to the memory. I think all of you understand, or any difficulty regarding it? I think it is enough for the 10 marks also. That is, if you uh, uh, make that as a exam point of view, it is more than enough for a 10 marks. If I think someone tell that it is asked for a 10 mark in one paper, but mostly it is asked for 5 marks, and you have to uh, put these things for a memory. All of you understand, or any difficulty regarding it? Yes, are you able to listen? कळालंय का मेमरी आता? ओके, मग संपलंय मेमरी. आता उद्या काय घ्यायचं? एकच लेक्चर राहिले आता, कारण उद्यापर्यंतच लेक्चर आहेत वाटतं ना तुमचे.